Ghana's first infectious disease centre is ready for use after the Ghana COVID-19 Private Sector Fund handed over the 100-bed facility to the state at a formal ceremony last Friday. Built over a 12-week period, the treatment centre will be used for critically ill COVID-19 patients. Trustees of the fund intend to raise more money to build similar infectious disease centres in Kumasi, Tamale and Takoradi. My colleague Mamavi Owusu-Abuaje, who is also a brand ambassador, has been talking to members of the private-driven initiative.
Ghana now has its first infectious disease centre in Accra, 12 weeks after the project was started in April. A 100-bed hospital facility with a 20-bed intensive care unit and a first-class laboratory, backup generator and so many other modern facilities. Thanks to the efforts of the Ghana COVID Private Sector Fund, who mobilized resources for the completion of the project. The hospital will initially be used for the isolation and treatment of critically ill COVID-19 patients. When the pandemic ends, it will then be used to treat other infectious diseases. So, after a successful completion of the first of 4 hospitals in the country, let me introduce you to the trustees of the project who started it all with a seed money of 100,000 Ghana cedis each and a target to raise 1 million Ghana cedis each. Here are 2 of them.
Somebody might get sick if I don't get the resources, all right? Yeah. Let's say all the hospitals are full and you see people dying probably on the street or even lying outside the hospital or on the floors of the hospital that we have. And if I go there, like I see it, will I be happy? That would not be what I wanted. That's why the moment they told me they want you to do something like that, I say, okay, I'm on board, count me in. So my small way or my widow's mind to contribute to modern Ghana is what motivated me to come on board the project.
One of the other things that's fascinating about the project is the time within which it's been completed, which is like a record time. How does it make you feel seeing the structure there? Because there was nothing on the ground, and then in 3 months we have a complete modding
facility.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how does that make you feel?
You see, it makes me feel very proud, and then it shows that yes, we can. As the former American president said, we can. It's all about attitude. It's about mentality. You know, I have a philosophy that what one man has done, another man can do, right? So this record time of completion of this project shows that if the private sector, we focus, you know, our attention on developing this country, it can be done.
Finally, I want to talk about how ready you are and how committed you are to the projects in Kumasi, Takoradi, and then Tamale.
Yes, the idea is that we call this diversification. You cannot put everything in Accra. So if somebody is in Takoradi, you have to either be flown here by helicopter or by road, you know. So once you'll be able to do this, in conjunction with the military and also able-bodied, good-willing Ghanaians, the idea is to spread it. That doesn't become a centralized facility, right? So from here, Accra, we have decided to go to Kumasi. From Kumasi, you go to Takoradi and eventually go to Tamale.
You know, the most important thing in the beginning was for us to have the will to do something. And once we had that, it was 50% of the decision was made, and you know, the journey was done, in my view. But to start with, the scariest thing was getting out of our homes. You didn't know what was going to happen. That was the scariest thing, and that was what our families were afraid of. You know, so they were okay with us helping, but couldn't we help from home? Couldn't we get other people to do this? But going into it yourself was the scariest thing. Yeah. So that was the most difficult part. Once we got over that, it was easy, you know, to continue with the rest.
There must be some kind of excitement in you, knowing that there was nothing here where we stand today. This had nothing. But because you dreamt, and you dreamt with a group of people, this is possible today. How does that make you feel?
It's interesting. It's, I think we are all filled with pride and, joy, just to be able to know that we've been able to achieve it. As a nation, that we've all put our heads together and thought that, okay, let's do this. And then we all forced towards it until we get there. And we've gotten there very beautifully.
And if you're wondering who really is the boss when 11 CEOs come together to execute a project like this, well, here's Kweku Bediako again.
Lots of the people knew each other. Okay, what we hadn't done was maybe to work together. So that was new. But I think, something very Ghanaian happened from the first day and it stuck all through, which is using age as the determining factor of who is senior in this. So the oldest person clearly, was a senior, followed by the next, followed by the next, followed by the next. Luckily, they seem to be the wisest people as well. So luckily, the age was coming with wisdom and experience and all of that. Yeah, so it was easy to hold on to that, and it worked beautifully. I mean, it is what we had before, where I would call some of the people uncle or senior, and at the end of it, we are still saying exactly the same thing. So how much money you were putting into it didn't really matter. Who you were in your office didn't really matter in this. It was just the idea that we're doing this, and age was the thing that mattered when it came to these things. Yeah. It was beautiful.